Hey everyone, it's Julie going live for my first time on Instagram. Woohoo! If you don't know me, I help women identifying, hardworking coaches, consultants, healers, and other service-based business owners like you transform a business that drains you into a business that sustains you. So you're great at what you do. You've got a lot of experience. You've got clients, there's money coming in. That's not like the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that you are working too damn hard for it, okay? So I'm here to help. Over the next, I think couple weeks we'll be doing this. I'm gonna be walking you through the 7 most common leaks that are draining your time, money, and energy, possibly your sanity too, and how to close them up. Because when you're able to do this, when you're able to close up these leaks, you will create a natural flow of energy through yourself and through your business to accomplish your goals with much more ease and enjoyment. Like you can imagine like a leaky pipe with all the water coming out, and then you can imagine like sealing up those leaks and like how the water just flows through. So that's what we want to create for you in your business, like that easeful flow of energy through your business. So listen up to this first leak today if you're interested in getting better results, right? Like more impact, more money without working so damn hard, right? Or if you're just interested in working less in general, because maybe you are making the money you want to make, you are having the impact you want to have, but you're like on the road to burnout, and we do not want that, right? So I've got my notes over here, so I'm looking over here. So when you feel overwhelmed and or you have like too much on your plate, what do? I know for the clients that I work with, there's a few things that can happen. One is that you might try like a productivity app or hack, like working for 45 minutes straight to a timer, and then having like a 5-minute movement break or something, right? And this can totally be a helpful tactic for sure, but we want to talk a little like bigger picture strategy here, right? You might, find an accountability buddy and like to help each other stop procrastinating and like do the work, right? Also, that can be totally helpful. Not opposed to that, right? But if I know you, your main strategy in these situations is just to work harder, right? To like keep on going, to work harder and longer, and to try to get all the things done, right? But of course, you never like really get it all done. And you might even be telling yourself like, oh, after this month or after this launch or when COVID's over, then I'll slow down, right? Then I'll work less. But the after this, like it never comes, right? Like you just something else happens and you keep working harder. The work keeps slowing. The to-do list doesn't really shrink and might grow. You just power through, right? And this is kind of this endless cycle because it's a habit, right? It's not just because there's too much work. And it seems like you have to do this. It seems like you just have to like kind of keep going and grit your teeth and just get the work done because like you're legit doing a ton in your business, right? You're doing a lot, perhaps like more than your business, like your whole life, right? And so like on a practical physical level, I would be willing to bet that in your business, you have multiple offers, right? Like you might have 3, 4, 5, 6, even more things that you're selling, right? And oftentimes these offers, these things that you're selling don't totally fit together, right? So there's not this obvious path for a client to follow from one program to the next, right? So there's that piece, and then some of them might not be even bringing in that much money, and they're a lot of effort to produce, but they're kind of still hanging out there. You're still doing it for whatever reason. We'll talk about that in a sec. You also might have more than one target audience. Okay, this is another common thing that I see. Even people like well into their businesses, right? And I will tell you something. When you have two marketing strategies, when you have 2 target audiences, it's like having 2 businesses because you have to have 2 marketing strategies for these 2 different groups of people, right? It's twice the work, right? Nobody wants to do twice the marketing, right? Let's be honest, okay? So that's like on a very practical level. And then on more of the energy draining level, like you might be working with a target audience that you don't even like that much, right? It might be like, it's just like, I don't really love working with these people anymore, but you've always worked with them, and you feel like you need to serve everyone, or you should serve everyone. You feel guilty not serving this particular audience because they need you. There's all these reasons we keep doing work with folks who aren't quite right for us, but it's really draining, right? And then what other folks are doing, like, look, I know you got the memo about picking a niche, right? You're far along enough in your business that you've heard that a few times, right? So maybe you have actually chosen a target audience, but within that, you're still working with like a problem client, like it just one or two people who you're like, oh, this person's so draining, right? But you keep working with them because, it pays the bills, right? It's some money, or it just feels scary to fire a client, which, it is a little scary to fire a client, right? So that's another piece that can be an energy drain. And then the other thing that I see folks doing is, so one thing would be working with the wrong people, but the other thing is doing work, like having offers and programs that you're not super excited about yourself, right? Like you're not totally in your genius zone, your sweet spot, your gifts, whatever you want to call it, right? But, you feel guilty telling people, I don't do this work anymore. Or again, it's like there's money, or there's usually a should involved, or there's a kind of a scarcity piece involved. Like, oh my God, I have to take this client because, I need the money, or other clients won't come in. And the problem there too, it's like, on some level, it's like when you say no to the wrong client, you have to trust that the right client will come in. But it's not just about trust. It's about actually building something that attracts the people that you really want to work with, so that you can say no to the ones that aren't a good fit, right? Because so all this stuff that I just mentioned, what happens when we have too many offers, too many people, the wrong clients, all that, what happens is that you really risk your work not being as high quality, as impactful as it could be, right? Because you're spread too thin, right? And you might be exhausted on top of that. And so that leaves you with, at best, the work's not as high quality. And look, you're really good at what you do. You're like less than 100% is still really great. Your clients love you, right? You're not like losing clients right and left over this, but you know in your heart that you could actually be doing better work. So it doesn't feel great because you could be offering better work to your clients. That's like best case scenario. Worst case scenario is like when we take on clients that aren't the right fit, what happens is that they don't get the results that we want for them, right? Because either they have a slightly different problem, but you're like, oh, I think I can help with that. Or they're just a really challenging person that's like never going to be satisfied or require a ton of hand holding. So in these kinds of cases, you can actually get like the results can actually be like not great for the client. And then that can actually hurt your reputation, right? So we don't want to be working with the wrong clients, because it's draining and exhausting, and it really can hurt your business and your profits, right? So you just don't do your best work with folks that aren't your ideal client. So we do not want this. The whole like working harder, doing as much as humanly possible, that's not going to give you the easeful success that you dream of, right? Constantly adding new offers to your business, having 10 different ways you serve your clients, or just being afraid to let clients and offers and things go from your business, right? Because like none of that is going to help you have a bigger impact with more ease. And the like working harder habit also does not guarantee you more money either, right? In fact, the having this kind of diffuse focus actually drags down your profits along with dragging down your energy, right? Like, you might make great money and have a lot of clients for a while, but if you keep going at this rate, then you're going to burn out, right? So then what's the good of it, right? Because then we don't have you serving. We don't have you doing your work in the world. And if you hadn't noticed, the world needs you right now. The world really needs you. So the truth is that you are not going to hard work yourself out of a faulty, overly complicated business model that is basically designed to exhaust you, right? You didn't design it that way on purpose, but it's basically designed to exhaust you. And the reality, like cliche as it sounds, is that less is more. Less is more. So simple, right? But not easy. What you need to actually do is to simplify your business model and your revenue streams and your client types and your marketing strategies. You might need to actually let go of half or more of what you do. That's totally possible. I have worked with people that have like gotten rid of half of the stuff they do so that you can focus on what is most strategic, most aligned, most fulfilling, and most profitable, right? You need one clear audience that you adore working with, right? And not just demographically, right? But like down to where they're at on their journey, what makes them tick. And then again, really down to those details of like how they show up for the work with you, right? Like how they honor you and pay your full rates with like no problem, right? And how folks that aren't like high maintenance and require like a ton of hand holding, you know? So you need to like have that focus on the one type of client. And then from there, you need to let go of any kind of extraneous offers and either combine them or redesign maybe 1, 2, or maybe 3 offers that are rooted deeply in your gifts, right? So what you're here to do, and designed specifically to serve those ideal clients, right? Offers that flow in perfect order and you're not doing anything extra and you're focused on what you're best at and where you can be of most service. Okay? That's the simple kind of simplification that we need. You don't have to do more. You don't have to do everything you committed to last year or 5 years ago or whatever if it's not working for you, right? You don't have to work with clients you don't love. You don't have to do work that feels like a slog. Like you have the choice. Like that's such the cool part about being an entrepreneur. Like you just get to choose. You can not do that if you don't want to. You can choose to do something else, right? And when you start removing things from your business, from offers to marketing strategies that aren't working, you'll finally start like having that sense of having like enough time. And it's like, oh, I have enough time. Oh my God, you know, and you won't have to just power through and keep on working endlessly when you have a lot to do. So look, am I saying that you will never have to work hard as a business owner? Yeah, no, I'm not saying, oops, a phone call came in. So no, like you're going to have to work hard in your business at some points, right? I mean, this isn't anybody who tells you like, this is easy. Like, you know, that's, they're lying to you. Right. But this like round the clock, productivity obsession that we have is totally unsustainable and totally unnatural, what our society like would have us do, right? The ebb has to fuel the flow. I talk about this a lot. What I mean is that the resting part of the natural cycle, right? It has to fuel the active part of the cycle. For every day, there's a night. For every summer, there's a winter. You have to refuel. You have to replenish so that when hard work is necessary, you're energized for it. You have the energy to do it, right? And you're excited to do it because you're doing what you're meant to be doing. You're excited about what you're offering. You're not like doing this work that's like dragging you down, right? So if you are interested in starting to free up more time and energy and money to fuel your dreams, we're doing this and way more inside of Nourished. And when you join Nourished, you get to come to my annual Replenish retreat for free, which is super exciting. And I'll be sharing more about that in the next few days and few weeks. And gosh, I'm gonna have to like turn off my phone calls when I'm doing this. Hello, new to this. But what we do in that retreat is we slow way down and we dive deep into each of these areas and literally start like closing up the highest leverage leak. So you will like create more space right there at the retreat in your business and in your life. So if you're interested in that, just drop me a DM or join my email list. The link's in my bio to make sure you get all the deets on that. So, and then stay tuned because I'm going to be leaking out the next few leaks. That's so silly. But I'll be sharing the other 6 most common leaks of your time, money, and energy over the next few days and weeks. And then I'm going to put all these in my IGTV channel so you can watch them there too. So thanks for joining me, or thanks for watching later, and just drop a little comment in the comments so I can know that you were here. Okay, thanks so much.